PFAS water contamination knows no borders. It doesn't care about whether the people in their town are wealthy or whether they're poor. Just like most environmental issues, there are no borders when it comes to pollution. Just today in the Boston Globe, an article was published about PFAS water contamination in Nantucket. As you might know, Nantucket is a wealthy island off the coast of Massachusetts. It's popular in the summertime for visitors, and a lot of people have vacation homes there. In Massachusetts, they have some of the most strict measurements for PFAS in the country, though they are much higher than that of the federal EPA. In Massachusetts, water municipalities can have no more than 20 parts per trillion in the drinking water supply. The federal EPA for PFOS and PFOA, the two main contaminants, has set a much lower precedent of 4 parts per trillion, which equals to 4 drops of water in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Well, in Nantucket, they found in the newer areas of the island that some of the levels are 124 parts per trillion. And in some other areas near like the airport, measurements have been found to be over 4,000 parts per trillion. So what does this mean? This means that people who are drinking the water in Nantucket, which has one aquifer, all are potentially exposed to PFAS, and they probably have been for years and unknowingly. What happens with PFAS is there are a group of chemical compounds that are utilized a lot in industrial manufacturing, in consumer products like floss, rugs, in women's makeup, in water-resistant fabrics such as Gore-Tex, and these are flushed into the ground, often by some companies. They also come in the form of aqueous firefighting foam. And when this happens, it leaches into the aquifer and gets into our system. These chemicals do not break down in the environment, and they do not break down in the human body. If you have been exposed to PFAS, it's recommended that you get a blood test. These are not paid for by insurance. Quest Diagnostics offers some testing. It's stated that if you have between 2 and 20 nanograms in your body, that you are potentially exposed to negative health effects. These can include things such as high blood pressure, thyroid conditions, infertility, cancers such as kidney, thyroid, liver, and testicular cancer, ulcerative colitis, and about 91% of Americans fall into this category. Now, if you're over 20 nanograms, then you're considered elevated risk and should be watching for more issues such as cancer. Currently, right now, you may be aware that there is a pending lawsuit that is moving very quickly. It's a multi-district litigation out of the federal court in South Carolina. This is primarily targeting people who have been exposed to PFAS through their drinking water supply. This will include people in Nantucket, and the injuries where there is a high correlation between PFAS exposure and the onset of these injuries are kidney cancer. That's number 1, testicular cancer, in some cases thyroid and liver cancer, and also ulcerative colitis. This lawsuit is moving very quickly. There are rumors that the kidney cancer cases are going to settle before the bellwether trial set for October of 2025. If you have been injured and diagnosed, it's essential that you contact an attorney right away. At Rightful Legal, we've been helping hundreds of clients get on board for this lawsuit to get the compensation that they deserve, which is only a slice compared to what they have endured. But it's also an opportunity to hold 3M, DuPont, and the other manufacturers of these harmful forever chemicals liable and responsible for harming people everywhere and harming over 70% of the public drinking water supplies in the United States. It's estimated that every human being on the world has some PFAS in their body. Again, these are man-made synthetic products, and these companies knew of the danger and did nothing. And we're the ones who are being poisoned as a result. And as with everything, most of the time, the cost to get this out of your water comes down to the consumer through the use of expensive testing and expensive water filtration systems, such as reverse osmosis and carbon filters for your whole